Come on, Charlene. Representative, where are you? And Lauren Ashley Simmons. I have some of my great state reps. I can't say my colleagues anymore. My former colleagues. Charlene, come on up here and join us. I want to thank you all for being here. Superintendent, you can come on up here. Let your young, show some diversity. A teacher, come on up here. And the Valley Victorian man, you're not out yet. You know, you could mess it up here at the end. You got me? Yeah. Even if you block the school, if you block the house, block that a little bit, we'll be all right. We'll slide it over a little. Tell you, hey, Representative, how you doing? Slide that over a little bit down there. He's a Valley Victorian. And look, he doesn't have that law degree or that doctor's degree yet. We'll put him back up. And then we got another little space there for our colleague. Come on right here. Hey, I want to thank you all for being here. I'm Rodney Ellis, and I have a number of members of the legislature here, and they all are going to speak as well. And we have a student here, a teacher, and we have a superintendent with us today. I'm grateful to be joined by Representative Alma Allen, Lauren Ashley Simmons, Ron Reynolds, Jessica Cunningham, a Bailey, a middle school teacher from Spring ISD, who you'll hear from this morning as well. I want to thank the superintendent for the Spring Independent School District, Dr. Craig Cuellar, for being here, and members of our legislative delegation for being here as well. Representative Reynolds is going to introduce all of them after my third grade teacher, Dr. Alma Allen, speaks. Why are we here today? This Friday, August the 7th through August the 9th, families across Texas can buy clothes, shoes, backpacks, and many school items under $100 without paying any sales tax in Texas. I know this holiday very well because I wrote the law back in 1999.
Exactly.
I knew in that session the big issue was property tax relief when Governor Bush was in office.
Yes.
I think that I saw an article in Governing magazine. The internet had not been out that long, but it was out. But I saw this article in Governing magazine about Florida, I think, and New York, both of whom were looking at sales tax holidays. And I thought it made sense for us to try to do something for working class families. I knew that the property tax relief bills would pass. And obviously, that's something that local government depends on far more than the state, because all property taxes go to fund local government in Texas, not state government. Since then, that bill has saved Texas families more than $2 billion. Think about that. $2 billion has been saved in sales tax relief because of the sales tax holiday since 1999. Now, you see some accounts that say it's over $1 billion. Take it from me, not AI, it's $2 billion. And more than 25 years later, the reason for having that state law that gives us a sales tax holiday hasn't changed. And the truth is, we need it more now to deliver tax relief to working class families than we've ever needed it in the past. August is one of the most expensive times of the year for working families. Parents are doing their back to school shopping while paying for more groceries, paying more for rent, more for gas, child care, and just about everything else that you can think of. Texas has one of the most regressive tax systems in the country. Sales tax is especially regressive. It takes a bigger bite out of smaller paychecks, hitting working families the hardest. This weekend won't solve that problem, and I know that. It will not solve the affordability challenge that we're facing. But every dollar that working people can keep in their pockets matters now more than ever. And parents aren't the only one carrying the costs. That's why we invited the superintendent and a teacher here.
Right.
Teachers spend hundreds of dollars from their own pockets every year to make sure that their students have the things that they need to thrive. No teacher should have to choose between their own paycheck and a student being successful.
Right.
This weekend takes a little of that weight off of them. But I urge my friends in the state legislature to do more. When I first put the bill in, it was a 2-week sales tax holiday. I don't remember the cap, but I hope it was far higher than $100. I couldn't find that on AI last night, what the cap was back then. But 25 years later, it ought to be higher.
Yes.
The sales tax ought to be expanded. At a minimum, I'd put in a bill saying make it 2 months. I think I saw that Florida has the longest sales tax holiday in the country, the whole month of August. I'm just guessing. I think that's what I read when I was looking it up a couple of days ago. Don't just put it to 2 weekends like my staff put in these notes. I was bold in 1999. I asked for 2 weeks. So go back and just ask for what Florida has.
There you go.
It's another southern state. It's another state controlled by our friends in the other party. Just go and say, use Florida as an example. Expand the covered items to include laptops. In 1999, maybe you didn't need a laptop.
But you do now.
If you don't have one now, it's over with, Mr. Valedictorian.
Right.
Expand it to tablets and other electronic devices that students need to learn. These reforms need to be a part of a bigger effort to expand tax relief to working people, whether it's sales tax or property tax relief. Everyone needs to pay their fair share. Austin talks a lot about tax relief. Right now, working families are bearing the burden of the state's unfair tax system, while yacht owners, country clubs, and businesses get a tax break.
Yes.
I'm not a member of a country club. I don't own a yacht. And I don't get any business tax breaks since I don't have much of a business anymore.
Right.
While everyday Texans struggle to afford basics, a millionaire can purchase a $3 million yacht and get a sales tax worth almost $169,000 in Texas. That's not fair. But Texas has never once capped what a family pays at a register for basic needs.
Yes.
I encourage all of the members of the legislature in both parties to prioritize tax relief for working families this next session to give families the break that they need. Now, I'm going to give you this last example they used to give me a hard time about. Carl Parker was in the Senate when I was there. He was also in the Senate when I was an intern around the state capitol. Every once in a while, he'd run in and say he's going to put in a bill to sunset the entire tax code. And then he'd make reference to the ag exemption. And one year, I was interning around the Capitol for about 5 years in law school and at the LBJ school. One year he came in and said, some of these people have been getting the ag exemption since Reconstruction. And they didn't pay for the land then. And he said, you know all these people, he represented Jefferson County, Beaumont. He said, they just go roll a bale of hay and a couple of cows out there and you get ag exemption. It ought to be reviewed.
Right.
Even in urban areas, Representative, people still do that. So if you're shopping this weekend, take advantage of the tax holiday. The list of what qualifies is at the door in English and in Spanish. Now it's my honor to introduce someone who has dedicated her life to educating Texas children, even the ones who were mannish when they were in the 3rd grade. I was joking earlier, she was my 3rd grade teacher. She had a long white Pontiac LeSabre. And she gave me a ride home every day. And it meant so much to me. Representative Dr. Alma Allen, and then after her, Ron, you're going to make sure that you just make sure you let all our colleagues come up. Is that all right? Only because he was one of my interns. I didn't give him a ride home, no. Representative Allen. I'm going to tip over here by this young man.
Okay. Thank you, Rodney. School's about to start. I'm excited school is started. But I'm excited that the kids will have the supplies they need. I remember, Rodney, when I was teaching you in 3rd grade, we also set out supplies, but we had dedicated parents, and we had parents who knew how to save those supplies from last year for this year. But I'm excited that they will have the opportunity to have a tax break on the supplies that they will be buying. Now, for those who are prepared and who are ready, who have the monies to buy but for those who have not, this is the opportunity. And I remember, and we're grateful to Rodney for passing this bill. I remember when he passed it, and it is so necessary. Children are going to have a good year because now they will have the supplies they need. And I encourage my farmer, they're going to be my farmer.
Yeah, not yet.
Yeah. In December, I'm running to the door, okay, to extend the time on the bill. That would be absolutely wonderful. Let me say to the children, have a good year. And to the parents, thank you to Rodney for making the tax break possible. Thank you.
I didn't make you Christina.
Yeah. No, I'm going to bring her up, actually, because I'm representing Ron Reynolds, and it's my pleasure to bring up some amazing colleagues. We've heard from Dr. Alma Allen, who we love and dear, and we're going to miss her. She's not gone yet, though. Not yet. We're December 31st, okay?
Yeah.
So I'm going to bring up next Representative Christina Morales, who is also the chair of the House Democratic Campaign Committee. Representative Morales.
I'll come up. Thank you. Voy a hablar en español, ¿ok?
Yeah,
Yes.
Porque veo aquí que Univisión está aquí. Mira, este mes de agosto es un mes donde los padres de familias trabajadoras compran muchas cosas porque los niños se van a escuela. Es muy importante que compran todos los útiles escolares, mochilas, ropa este fin de semana porque el viernes, sábado y domingo no les van a cobrar los impuestos. Y esto es algo que hizo mi amigo, Commissioner Rodney Ellis, en 1999, hace muchos años. Y mira, la verdad es que ahorita en nuestro estado estamos viendo que los billonarios y millonarios reciben bajo impuestos. Pero nunca damos algo a las familias trabajadoras. Y por eso este fin de semana es muy importante. Todos están gastando dinero para sus hijos, para que empiezan escuela con todo lo que es necesario. Todo lo que está allí, veo que they put a beautiful display. Y estas cosas van a estar sin los impuestos. Entonces, por eso es muy importante. Y nosotros vamos a seguir luchando para nuestra comunidad de trabajadores porque solamente tenemos un fin de semana, pero en otros estados estamos viendo que tienen mucho más tiempo, un mes, 2 meses, y que también dan un descuento de impuestos a los que compran computadoras. Pero esas son las cosas donde vamos a luchar en el 90th Legislative Session. Muchísimas gracias. Un honor estar aquí con ustedes. Thank you.
Now, guess right. Give it up for Representative Christine Morales.
Yay.
Now it is my pleasure to bring up 2 dynamic freshmen. Both of them are outstanding members of the legislature. It is my pleasure to bring up Representative Lauren Ashley Simmons, followed by Representative Charlene Ward Johnson.
Thank you, Chairman Reynolds. I'm State Representative Lauren Ashley Simmons. I want to welcome y'all to House District 146. This is an extremely important weekend. I remember being a very young 19-year-old mom who was also a student myself, trying to figure out how to stretch every dollar and every penny. I know what it means to have to stretch those dollars and wanting to make sure that our children, my child, was able to walk into school feeling confident. This is why this weekend matters so much.
Yeah.
We're in an affordability crisis right now. Our communities are suffering. Our teachers are having to go into their own pockets and try to fill in the gaps that we in the legislature should be able to fill when it comes to the budget. Kids grow, shoes wear out, jackets are needed when the weather changes, and so it's so important to have children first day ready, but I often think about what is it like to come back after the holiday break and to have to use old items. And so in the 90th legislature, I'll be looking at ways to figure out how do we not only expand this holiday throughout the fall, but really thinking about what it means to be able to come back, you know, after that holiday break and ensure that kids are ready for the second start of the school year. I'm so excited about the opportunities that we are working hard to ensure that our families and community members have. It is not always, you know, a shining example of what we're able to do in the legislature when we have a lot of ideas that don't come to fruition, but I'm so thankful for our commissioner for getting this done way back at a time where I was a student myself. But, you know, it's time to make some updates to those laws and policies. And so I'm excited for my colleagues and I to tackle that issue next session. And I know that you will not be there with us, Dr. Allen, but you will be there with us in spirit, and we will be championing your legacy because you are an esteemed educator before you were a state representative. And I'm the granddaughter of 3 teachers, 3 educators. I worked for the Teachers Union for years, and so I am devoted to public education. I'm an advocate for public education, and I know that it's the great equalizer, and the part that we can do is ensuring that every single student in the state of Texas is first day ready. So thank you again. Excited about the fights that we'll have in the 90th to increase and expand this tax break for our families.
Yes.
Good morning. I'm State Representative Charlene Ward Johnson. I represent House District 139. I serve on the Higher Education Committee, so I understand the rising cost of college tuition. So this bill not only helps K through 12, it will also help college students who have to deal with the rising cost of tuition, and being able to expand this bill for laptops and other items that a college student may have, because a lot of times college students are preparing for college not having the tools that they need to be successful, and we don't want them to be without any resources that can make them even more resourceful, even more success. We are about student success. The people behind me, we work together, and we want to continue to make this bill even better, to expand this reach to expand the benefits to be able to reach everybody who's trying to get a better education, because education is a tool to success. We preach about education, but now this laws that we're going to pass are going to make us show you what we're talking about. We're going to put action, faith without action. But thank you again. I'm Charlene Ward Johnson. Thank you, Commissioner, for the vision and the leadership, and Dr. Alma Allen. We want to continue to lean on your shoulders and step and to make it even better, and that's what we want to do. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Well, I'm going to be brief. I'm Representative Ron Reynolds, House District 27. I agree with all of my colleagues and everything that Commissioner Ellis stated. I remember back way when we both had hair and we were doing these press conferences. We actually need this now more than ever, Commissioner Ellis. You're right. As a parent who has 2 children that are starting their sophomore year in high school, I can tell you that everything has went up. When you go to the grocery store, I don't have to remind anyone that those precious eggs aren't less expensive. They're more expensive. Housing is more expensive. People are paying more for rent. So this sales tax holiday is a welcome relief for those parents to be able to provide for the necessities of their children that are going back to school, and the teachers, by the way, that you mentioned. And so we're going to do everything we can, Commissioner Ellis, to keep the baton that you passed to us going strong in the 90th legislative session, to file legislation to increase the tax-free weekend to, like you said, at least 30 days, so the entire month of August, because many families, they may not be able to take advantage of it just this weekend. We need to extend it far beyond one single weekend so that families can have more options to get their children the things that they need. So I want to thank Commissioner Ellis again. I want to thank my colleagues, and I want to implore all of our colleagues to do what is best for working families. We know that many people are struggling. They're hurting, trying to make ends meet. So we need to do more for those plenty of billionaires and millionaires that already, as Commissioner Ellis pointed out, get so many tax breaks, so many tax, I call it corporate welfare. Yeah. We're balancing the budgets on the backs of poor and working families, and that is unfortunate. So we're going to continue to fight, Commissioner Ellis, to do everything that we can so that working families don't continue to suffer in Texas. And I think that next we have the superintendent. Okay.
Superintendent Cuellar, thank you.
Thank you so much. And first and foremost, thank you to Commissioner Ellis for his immense partnership and involvement, not only in the Spring community, but throughout the city of Houston as a whole. Thank you to all of our elected officials who continue to fight not only for our working families, but fighting for public education. Thankful for creating this opportunity in 1999, Commissioner Ellis, because I want to definitely stress the importance of what this provides. It provides relief for our families. Mm-hmm. It provides support for our educators. Mm-hmm. It supports community partnership, but most importantly, the impact on students. Yeah. And I can't stress that enough. Public education is more demanding than it's ever been before. And whatever we can do to wrap around our families and our teachers really will mean the difference for every single one of our students. We have over 100 and thousands of families, in public ed here in Houston, thousands and hundreds of thousands of teachers that can really benefit from this. So I just really want to encourage everyone to please take advantage of this opportunity. At the end of the day, it is going to absolutely transform the lives of our kids. So thank you again, Commissioner Ellis, for your partnership and your support.
Got a teacher you bring up.
Absolutely. I would love to bring up.
No, but you have a student who's going to speak.
Absolutely. Right. I'd love to bring up Jessica Cunningham, who is one of our fantastic teachers here in Spring ISD, who is a middle school teacher at Bailey Middle School. So, Ms. Cunningham.
I do want to say thank you for implementing the sales tax holiday back at its core, back in the beginning, because it does help families stretch that dollar when it is needed most. And being a mother and a teacher, I'm buying school supplies in bulk. So this does extremely help, because teachers are not going to let children go without what they need. No. And a lot of people don't realize how much teachers are putting in to make sure that your students, when they walk into our schools, when they walk into our classrooms, they are ready to learn. And taking advantage of this sales tax holiday can help you buy the supplies that they need, the clothes that they need for school, to walk in on day one feeling more confident. Because when a student walks in feeling confident, that's a strong start. Right. They're more at ease in the learning process, in the classroom, if they're not worried about, oh no, I don't have paper. Oh no, I don't have a pencil and my teacher doesn't have one. What am I gonna do? I'm just gonna miss out on the learning. This type of sales tax holiday, and please, yes, let it be extended, because as was mentioned, it's not just, a lot of families may not be able to go out the exact weekend that it's implemented. But when you do take advantage of this holiday, this sets your student up, and it's like running a race. A strong start makes an easier race, and it makes a strong finish. And that is what every parent, every teacher, every administrator, every community member wants for our students, no matter what district they are in.
You can bring up this young man.
And now I would like to introduce our spring high school valedictorian, Jalen.
Put this in your college application.
Yeah, everyone, my name is Jalen Tran, and I'm a proud recent graduate of Spring High School. So I remember in middle school, so I remember in elementary and middle school going to a tax-free weekend and going to these stores and buying shoes, clothes. And at the time, I didn't even know what this holiday was. But I sure did know that feeling on the first day of school, walking in confident, outspoken, having all these supplies, pulling out my new pencil box, showing it out to everyone. So, yeah, I just want to thank Commissioner Rodney Ellis for this bill and everything he has done. He really has affected not only the Spring ISD community, but the Houston area as well. And now it's extended to college students now for laptops? Working on it. Yeah, so.
I might get me one.
Yeah, so thank you so much to Ronnie Ellis and for affecting us, and you truly do make an impact for everyone. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good job.
So to close out, I'll tell this young man, the line we used to use, Ron, was shop till you drop. And at some point after 25 years, you got to come up with some new lines. So if you don't have the money, don't spend it. But look, the malls are going to be just packed all weekend. The holiday really should be expanded. That's right. And I want to say to my colleagues, sometimes I know it's a challenge. One of you said how frustrating it is when you put in bills and they just don't pass. Right. If somebody measured my success by the percentage of bills I filed that passed, I would be an abysmal failure. So I passed 700 bills, but I never calculated the number, but it was something crazy. I put in like 100 or so bills every session, everything I could think of. This bill would be one of those great accidents in Texas history. The issue was property tax relief. Superintendent of media, local government is run by property taxes. That's the way it's structured in Texas. That's the hardest form of taxation to pull from people. They get mad. You know, initially in this country when it was founded, people had to own property to vote. Go check it out. Don't go to ChatGPT. I hope it's in the textbooks. And the assumption, you know what the worst, you had to be free, white, male, and own property. Right. And people didn't get upset that much. They figured, well, one day I'm gonna own some property. So it's painful to ask for that money. Governor Bush was gonna run for president. The big issue was property tax relief. And I could get up and give my little speeches about, well, how are they gonna fund the schools? That's where the money comes from. Right. Is the state gonna give them some of that sales tax that's running state government? How the cities and counties, how are they gonna operate? Because that's how they fund it. Then later on, caps came. You all fought it. That's why we got a $178 to $180 million shortfall. It's a big problem. I figured I want to get in the game. All of my advocacy groups, Dick Levine, he's retired now. Tell him I called his name. He was mad. That's money you're going to be pulling away that could be used for education. I said, Dick, the property tax relief bill is going to pass. I want to put them behind the 8 ball. And that's really what I was doing. Go back and have a discussion on capping property taxes. Oh no, capping sales taxes. Since that's how they run state government. But it ought to be expanded beyond this. You just have to try. When I put the bill in, it had a broad caption. It said, tax relief. Governor Bush got his bills out of the House, but he couldn't get them out of the Senate. No, he got them out of the Senate, but not the House. Grand old party was running the Senate. Internet tax relief, over-the-counter drugs, diapers, and the research and development, big property tax bill. They all got out of the Senate and they were dying in the House. Brian McCall, now Chancellor, was carrying my bill. So the bill got out of the Senate quickly, mainly to shut me up. So I asked for 2 weeks and I give my speeches about how you disproportionate, impact on local communities when you go put property tax relief on them, but you don't do it on sales tax. So they let the bill out just to shut me up. They were tired of hearing the speech. Then Governor Bush couldn't get his bills out of the House. He called me in his office and he said, Ellis, I noticed your bill has a broad caption. Oh, you're reading the bills. So I knew he wanted something. Yeah. I said, I need you to leave my hate crimes bill alone. I think I had a couple of criminal justice bills, I need to leave them alone. Or you can't load your bills in my bills. You want to load all of that stuff in Brian McCall's bill, but it had to come back to Senator Ellis. And I had to be recognized to bring it up on the floor, or he was dead. So this is how we got it passed. And we cut a deal. He messed with my stuff anyway, but you know what I mean? So just put the bills in. Yeah. You just don't know. Don't let somebody judge your success by the percentage of bills you put in that pass. Because I'm telling you, this bill's not supposed to pass. And here I am 25 years later, up here giving my speech. Shop till you drop if you have the money. Thank you. Well, you all have any questions, or we'll take individual questions? What's your preference on this subject? Good. Thank you. Y'all go shopping too. Okay.